Well, good morning, folks. So we're at Victoria Falls in on the Botswana-Zimbabwe border, and if any of you've seen the TV series that was on in 2012-2013 on Dave channel called Bush Pilots, you'll know this place fairly well. One of the places I decided to look. In the next week or so we will go down to Maun Airport in Botswana, where all the bush planes depart from and take their guests out to the luxury camps, and we'll have a look. I've already had a look around and it's beautiful. It's done really well, and considering it's done that well, I had high hopes for Victoria Falls, but as you'll see when we get airborne and get over the falls, I was quite disappointed. But anyway, let's get into the air, and you can judge for yourself. We're a bit high. The airport elevation here is 3,500 feet, and it looks like a hot day. Victoria Falls does have quite a long runway, so it's a fairly long taxi. But we'll go and give it a go. So we're going to taxi up to the end of the runway and departing on runway 12, and then turn north to head up over the falls, and we'll go up to 5,000 feet. Generally the terrain here is wonderful. It looks really good, and I watched all 10 episodes of Bush Pilots, and I have them on my TV at home, and looking down from the aircraft, what you see is pretty much what we see on the show. It looks really good. It's very, very close, which to a great extent I expected in the new sim. But then it came to me, I thought, right, well, we'll go and have a look at Victoria Falls. Now Victoria Falls is obviously one of the 7 wonders of the world. You would hope, given the realism in this simulator, that they would have done a job on Victoria Falls, or at least it would have looked like it does. Unfortunately, it's not the case at all, but we're going to have a look at it. But I wanted to show you this disappointment very quickly first, because later in the week we'll start doing some videos, or we'll start doing a video or two, and we'll fly out of Maun. You can have a look at Maun Airport. But the default doesn't look too bad at all, actually. Okay, but lots missing. But when you take off on runway 8, it looks great. And I found a couple of the bush strips in the Okavango Delta and up on the Maremi Game Reserve. So we will have probably 1 or 2 videos to have a look at that, and you can see just how nice flying in Africa is. Flaps up. So just passing the airport main terminal there, we're going to turn north now towards Victoria Falls. As you can see, the scrub and the bush looks really good. Okay, turning north. and there in the distance you can see the gorge where the falls are. So we'll head straight for the gorge and fly up the gorge and then turn around and come back over the gorge. What I saw reminded me very much of the old days, of the old, any of you are old enough to remember, but old enough to have used it, Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator 5.0 on floppy disk. Microsoft brought out a series of floppy disks of certain photoreal scenery areas, and I remember the Caribbean was one, Japan was one. Photo scenery that actually it didn't look too bad, apart from the fact that it kept popping up. And actually the way the falls look here reminded me very much of that. But as you can see, the bush looks really good. So I'm going to try and stay below the cloud base. So we're coming up on the gorge now. And I don't know whether this is photogrammetry gone wrong or just the way the sim interprets what's being streamed down in terms of scenery. But let's have a look and you can see what I mean. It looks like a glass wall. In reality, we should be seeing white foam streaming off the top of there, and sort of smoke or vapor rising from the falls, because of course that's what it does. There's over 4 million tons a day goes over that wall, over that wall. I think it's per day. A huge amount of water goes over the falls. So the valley itself doesn't look too bad. See, that looks really quite nice. But if you look here, we've got a ridge, or what looks like a ridge of glass, constantly changing as the data presumably is being interpreted. So we keep going northeast to where the falls are. See, there should be a crescendo of white foam somewhere down there, and vapor rising off the top of the ridge where the falls are. Again, look down to the left, you can see the gorge and the river. Doesn't look very realistic at all. There, look, see, we've got glass, and again I think the simulation is trying to interpret the data and keeps redrawing it. Doesn't look really good at all. So now we've got a river on top of a ridge there, look, almost like blocks of ice, which is a real pity. So, you know, the terrain looks lovely, but where are the falls? We'll keep going up the valley. As you can see on the map, we have gone over the falls. Which I believe are here. So there, the falls should be behind me. I believe the falls should be here. But clearly they're not. Well, the train looks wonderful. go a little further up here. I'm pretty sure we've crossed the falls. I don't think it's any further up this river. So have a quick look at the map, Google Maps showing where the falls are. So now let's turn back. And have a look from this end. As you can see, the bush looks great. No complaints at all about the way the bush looks. It's as I remember it in the TV show. Just, you know, that looks fine. No complaints at all with the way this looks. So, as far as I understand it, the falls should be here. And there should be steam rising up off it. And just a white wall of water going down there. For some reason there's a building stuck in there. This all looks fine. Not sure if it should be. There's the bridge where a lot of people go bungee jumping from. But where are the falls? And again we've got this ridiculousness here going on. I mean, look, it's glass, it's reshaping the way it is, I don't know. I would love to see somebody do a job on this and make it look realistic the way it should be. So let's go down the valley. That looks horrible. It's just the one disappointment really I've encountered in the sim so far. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love this sim. For GA flying it looks great. Can't wait until we get decent airliner operations going within it. But this is one of the things that spoils it for me. I mean, how you can take one of the 7 wonders of the world and have that going on. I mean, sure, there's lots of things missing. And I have to accept it's early days with the sim, maybe 5-6 weeks old. What we've got is brilliant. But quite happy to admit, unfortunately, that was a big disappointment to me. But as far as the terrain goes, it's brilliant. So now we're flying along the valley, and this looks okay. As you can see, there doesn't seem to be any, well, just a little bit there for the moment, and there as it settles itself in. But there really isn't much in the way of breakup of the scenery at all. Looks really good. White water. So there you go, a brief look at what should have been Victoria Falls, but actually wasn't. So now we'll head back to Victoria Falls Airport for a landing. So we head direct to the airport now. And in the meantime, let's give you some views around it's really, really good scenery, which is northern Botswana. say, I think the bush looks really good. Generally looks brilliant. And when we do the videos where we take off from Maun and explore some of the bush strips in the Okavango Delta, yeah, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. The only thing another thing that's missing that I haven't seen are the animals. Botswana is known for its wildlife, as is Africa in general, and on my trips out of Maun into the Delta, haven't seen anything. Field. Again, you look at the terrain, beautifully done, looks really nice. It's typical bush. Okay, see if we can make a half decent landing. Full flaps, please. So any of you have seen bush pilots and you look at the trees, I mean, this is typical bush. I'm very impressed with it. So we're going to land a bit long so we can get further down to the parking area. Massive runway here, so just going to delay the touchdown so we can get further down the runway. Winds are light. See, this is typical bush. Okay, I think we can touch down now. Nice one. Not too bad at all. Flaps up. So, taxi in. Just to say, this is Victoria Falls Airport. And these default airports, okay, they're not brilliant, but they look a whole lot better than they used to do in previous versions of the simulator. Default stuff, to be honest, looks a lot better. Visually a lot better than it did. And as I've said elsewhere, we have some amazing developers out there who will add the finishing touches to bring them up to the specification they really should be. Those are the main gates. So let's come along into the middle here. There you go, folks, a quick look round Victoria Falls Airport. Seems pretty strange to say I hope you enjoyed this video, but I hope you did enjoy the good bits, and you got to see the way Victoria Falls looks in the simulator, which at the moment is a disappointment. As I said, one of the 7 wonders of the world, and the modelling is pretty awful considering. Let's hope somebody comes along and does a nice job on this. It would really make a nice touch to Botswana. Thank you for joining me on this video. It's a short one, be uploaded hopefully tonight, Tuesday night. If you like this kind of thing and you enjoy my videos, please consider liking and subscribing. It does help my channel. It's all pretty new. I've only been going a couple of months. I do reviews of scenery products in Prepare 3D and in Msfs 2020. Sunday we've got a review coming up of the new Key West scenery by FS Dream Team. Can't wait to see that. It looks brilliant. So that will be the next video on Sunday. Usually released probably about midday or Sunday. Hopefully I will release it on midday on Sunday. So yep, drop into my YouTube channel and have a look and see what you think, and let me know in the comments what you think, what you'd like to see. And I also have a website, VirtualAirlinePilot.org, where I have a blog and I announce news on the front page and bits and pieces that you might find interesting that tell you about me. So once again, thank you for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed the content here today. Sorry about the state of the falls. I really hope they repair it. So we have also today, if I'm correct, we have the update 3 being released. It's the 29th. So we look forward to that and see what happens. So thanks again. Great to see you on board, and look forward to the next flight with you. Take care and bye bye for now.